Good afternoon. Welcome to Grace and Gavel, where truth meets compassion. My name is Buffy. I'm an 18-year criminal defense attorney who will be providing legal analysis on this case if it presents itself. Also, you can expect compassion for victims from me, as well as thoughtful analysis and being truthful and honest and empathetic, because the people that disappeared were loved by others. They were important. They were real people. And I also want to send a shout out to those of you who have been engaging and involved on my YouTube podcast page. Thank you very much. You've actually allowed me to do 2 podcasts based on your comments and your questions and just wanting information. I did one on Scott Peterson actually going from the death penalty to life in prison and how that worked out, just to kind of give you some framework there. And then also, a lot of you were talking about Evelyn Hernandez, and I think that that is a great place to start, especially given the fact that she has essentially been ignored in the process, her and her 5-year-old son, Alex. So let's turn to the disappearance of Evelyn Hernandez, the pregnant mother the media forgot. In December of 2002, America was watching one woman. She was pregnant, she was blonde, and she lived in Modesto, California. Her name was Laci Peterson. But just 3 weeks earlier, another pregnant woman vanished in Northern California. She was also 8 months pregnant. She was also deeply loved. She also disappeared without warning. And she took her 5-year-old son, Alex, with her. Her name was Evelyn Hernandez. Most people have never heard her name. And that silence may be the most disturbing part of this case. Who was Evelyn Hernandez? Evelyn Hernandez was 24 years old. She lived in San Francisco with her young son, Alex. She was a single mother, but not an isolated one. Evelyn was close with her family. She was present. She showed up. This wasn't someone drifting off the radar. She worked, she attended prenatal appointments, and she talked about the future. And she was 8 months pregnant with a baby boy she had already named Fernando. Now we know that her son was to be named Fernando. That detail matters, because naming a child means imagining a future. Evelyn wasn't running from her life. She was preparing to expand it. Her parents described her as dependable, loving, and devoted, especially to Alex. So imagine how lucky Fernando would have been. Alex was 5 years old. He was in school. He had routines. He had grandparents who saw him regularly. This was not a family that disappeared easily. On December 1st, 2002, Evelyn left her family's home with Alex. She told them she was going to attend church. That was normal, not suspicious, not alarming. But Evelyn never arrived. Hours passed, then a day, then concern turned into fear. Soon after, her car was discovered abandoned near San Francisco International Airport. Inside the vehicle was Evelyn's purse, her wallet, and her identification. Nothing suggested she planned to leave. No packed bags, no money withdrawn, no goodbye notes. And critically, Alex's belongings were gone too. 2 people vanished at once, a pregnant mother, a 5-year-old child. That alone should have triggered immediate urgency. But it didn't. The search and what didn't happen. When Evelyn and Alex were reported missing, the response was quiet. There was no press saturation, no nightly news countdown, no public narrative, despite a missing pregnant woman, a missing child, an abandoned vehicle, and personal items left behind. Compare that to what happened just weeks later when Laci Peterson disappeared. Same state, same month, same circumstances, but only one story mattered to the media. Evelyn was a woman of color. She lived in San Francisco, not a quiet suburb. She was a single mother, and those facts changed everything. Media erasure and missing white woman syndrome. This case is often cited as a textbook example of missing white woman syndrome, the phenomenon where young, white, middle-class, married women receive disproportionate media attention. Evelyn did not fit that narrative, despite being pregnant, actively parenting, from a close family, and clearly missing when under alarming circumstances. Her story barely registered. Law enforcement has never admitted this disparity, but the timeline speaks for itself. Let's talk about theories and suspects. Theory 1, foul play by someone she knew. Statistically, pregnant women are most at risk from someone familiar. Investigators have never publicly named a primary suspect, but questions linger around the father of Evelyn's unborn child. People within her social circle, anyone aware of her routines. No arrests were made, no persons of interest announced. That seems like the basic thing that should at least have been done. Have they questioned the father of her child? Which raises another question. Was this under-investigated from the start? Did they miss crucial links that they could have discovered? For instance, they say the first 24 hours after someone is missing is the most right time and ready time to find information that needs to be gathered. Theory 2, a random abduction. The abandoned car near the airport has fueled speculation. Could Evelyn have been intercepted? Possible, but unlikely. Abductions involving a pregnant woman, a child, no witnesses, no struggle, are statistically rare, but doesn't mean that it's impossible. And again, her belongings were left behind. So clearly, she was probably told to put her belongings back and then they would come back later and get them, which speaks most likely to someone who actually knew her and knew her routines. Additionally, you wouldn't think that she would do that for a stranger, given the fact that she had her 5-year-old son and she was pregnant. Theory 3, connection to the San Francisco Bay. In 2003, remains were discovered in the San Francisco Bay. They were identified as Evelyn Hernandez and her unborn son, Fernando. Alex's remains were never found. This discovery immediately drew comparisons to the Peterson case. But unlike that case, no suspect was charged, no clear timeline was established, and no courtroom narrative followed. The case quietly stalled. A child still missing. Alex Hernandez has never been found. That fact alone should keep this case open. A missing child is not a cold case. Yet public updates have been minimal. No major task force, no anniversary press conferences, no renewed appeals. Alex was 5 years old. Someone knows what happened to Alex. Where the case stands now. As of today, Evelyn Hernandez's death remains unsolved. Her unborn son, Fernando, was recovered. Alex's remains are missing. No one has been charged. This case is technically open, but functionally dormant. Evelyn's family continues to ask for answers, and the victims of this murder, her family, definitely deserve answers. They deserve answers why nothing has been done to this day, it sounds like. And the question remains, would this case look different if Evelyn had looked different? Evelyn Hernandez mattered. Her son Alex mattered. Her unborn son Fernando mattered. Their story deserves to be told with the same urgency and humanity as any other, because justice should not depend on visibility, and silence should never be the final chapter. If you believe every victim deserves equal attention, share this episode. Visibility matters. Maybe it could get to the right person who might know a small detail that could eventually crack this case open. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you have a great holiday, and I hope you'll come back and see us again soon. Feel free to like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it, especially if you like the idea of what we're doing and the fact that we're trying to give attention to cases that actually matter, cases maybe that have been ignored, because everyone deserves an opportunity to have their case solved. Thank you for tuning in and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.